All right, let's do this. We're diving deep into the world of Marcus Aurelius today.
Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah,
The philosopher emperor.
the emperor who is also a philosopher.
Exactly.
It's quite the combo. You sent over some excerpts from his meditations, those personal writings.
Yes.
And this really cool appendix about his relationship with Fronto.
His rhetoric tutor.
Yeah. So, are you ready to unlock some of that Stoic wisdom
I am.
and maybe uncover a little Roman gossip along the way?
Let's do it.
All right. What I think is so cool about this is that we're not just opening up a philosophy textbook,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, this is not armchair philosophy.
This is real.
This is the real deal.
Yeah, Meditations gives us this personal look into how he actually tried to live these principles.
Yeah.
A man with unimaginable power, right?
Yeah, unimaginable power, facing real challenges, struggles, relationship drama.
It's like we're reading the diary of ancient Rome's self-help guru. This guy is leading armies, pondering the meaning of life. How do you even handle that pressure?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty of his struggles,
Okay.
let's set the stage a little bit.
Yeah, let's set the scene.
For those who maybe haven't brushed up on their Roman history recently.
Right. So Marcus Aurelius wasn't just any emperor. He's considered one of the 5 good emperors.
Okay.
And he ruled during the Pax Romana.
The Pax Romana.
This period of relative peace and prosperity.
Golden Age of Rome.
Yeah. Oh, golden age. Yeah.
But even in a golden age, things happen, right?
Oh, yeah. Life happens.
I mean, the excerpts you sent over, wars, plagues, political turmoil.
All of it.
It's all going on. Can you imagine trying to stay zen with barbarians at your doorstep? I think I'd be reaching for something a little stronger than a philosophy scroll.
Yeah, I think a lot of us would.
Wine, maybe? Something.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where Stoicism comes into play, right?
That's where Stoicism comes in.
Can you give us, a quick Stoicism 101? What is that all about?
Yeah, Stoicism is all about virtue, reason, and accepting what you can't control.
Okay, so accepting what you can't control, focusing on what you can.
Right, focus on what you can control.
Yeah, and virtue, that's a big one.
Yeah, virtue is essential.
Pretty good advice for a leader, wouldn't you say? Even today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even today, I think CEOs and world leaders could benefit from a little dose of stoicism.
A little stoic calm.
A little stoic calm, for sure.
All right, so let's get to the heart of it.
Okay.
The wisdom. What were some of the big aha moments for you reading through Meditations?
Okay, well, throughout the text, you see these recurring themes, like a chorus.
Okay.
And one of them is this idea that virtue is the only good.
Okay, so not money, not fame.
Nope.
Not power.
No, those are fleeting.
Okay.
The true good lies in being just, kind, and reasonable.
Sounds simple enough, but is it?
It's simple but not easy, right?
Mhm.
I mean, how many of us actually prioritize those things in our everyday lives?
Yeah, we get caught up, right? The rat race and all that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The external validation.
Chasing the wrong things.
Exactly.
Okay, but hold on. Did Marcus Aurelius, did he actually walk the walk?
Oh, that's what makes meditation so interesting. It's not just pronouncements from on high.
Right.
This is him grappling.
Real life stuff.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to live this stuff out.
Okay.
So in book 2, for example, he's wrestling with anger. He's getting mad doesn't solve anything.
I can relate to that.
He even compares himself, and this is a crazy image, he compares himself to a pig being slaughtered,
What?
suggesting that we look equally ridiculous when we get all worked up over things we can't control.
It's a vivid image.
It is, right.
A little morbid, maybe.
A little morbid, but it makes you think.
It does. It's funny, but it also shows a level of self-awareness that you don't always see.
Yeah, he's not afraid to admit his own flaws.
Especially from an emperor.
Exactly, he's human. And then in book 6, he goes even further. He says, virtue trumps everything, even artistic talent.
Oh, interesting.
Nothing is more important than justice, truth, kindness, modesty.
So even for an emperor, character was king.
Character was king, that's right.
It makes you wonder, how much did his relationship with his tutor, Fronto, influence that emphasis on virtue?
That's a great question, and that's where this appendix is so fascinating.
Yeah, the stuff you sent over it's great.
Yeah, it really adds another dimension.
It's like reading text messages from an emperor. He's joking about his writing being destined for drowning or burning.
I know, right?
You wouldn't expect that from a guy writing the book on Stoicism.
But it's those little glimpses into his personality that make him so relatable.
Yeah.
He's not this, statue spouting wisdom.
Right.
He's a real person.
A human being.
Yeah, grappling with real challenges, trying to live up to these ideals while also being, well, human.
Yeah, I like that. So we've got this emperor who's also a philosopher struggling to live up to these Stoic ideals.
Right.
I mean, it's like a reality show set in ancient Rome.
Yeah.
But speaking of reality, one of the core things about Stoicism is this idea of living in accordance with nature.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of tripped me up a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that mean we all need to become like tree-hugging hermits?
That's a common misconception.
Okay.
It's not about, like, literally going to live in the wilderness.
Okay.
It's more about aligning yourself with the natural order of things,
Okay.
both in the world around you and within yourself.
So like being in tune with the universe.
Yeah, like tuning yourself to the same frequency.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
But what does that actually look like in practice? Like, did Marcus Aurelius give us any clues?
He did. He believed that understanding the nature of the universe was key to living a good life.
Okay.
Remember, he was a Stoic, and they saw the cosmos as this, like, divinely ordered thing governed by reason, a logos.
Yep.
And so aligning ourselves with that rational order, it's like finding the instruction manual for a fulfilling life.
So it's not just about being a good person.
Right.
It's about understanding, like, our place in the universe.
Exactly. Our role in this giant cosmic play.
Okay, that's a big concept.
It is a big concept.
Did he offer any, like, practical steps? I can't exactly go, like, shake hands with the planets, you know what I mean?
Right. He wasn't big on rituals.
Okay.
He stressed contemplation and reflection.
Instead of reaching for the stars, look inward.
Look inward, exactly.
But that's kind of vague, right?
It can be a little vague, but think about it this way.
Okay.
In our modern world, we are bombarded with information, stimulation, distraction
Constantly.
all the time.
Yeah.
And it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture, of our own inner compass.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So Marcus Aurelius would say, you know, take some time each day to step away from that noise, to quiet your mind,
Okay.
to reflect on your place in the grand scheme of things.
So, like, hit the pause button on the daily chaos
Hit the pause button.
and tune into a different channel, like the cosmic consciousness channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you start to see things differently. Your problems might feel smaller. Your priorities might shift.
Right.
You might even find a renewed sense of purpose and meaning.
Like you're finding that calm within the storm.
Yeah, the calm within the storm.
But even emperors have bad days.
They do.
So did he really manage to, like, live by these principles all the time?
That's what's so cool about Meditations. It's not just a philosophy textbook. It's a journal.
Oh, it's personal.
It's deeply personal, full of moments where he's struggling to apply these ideas, where he's frustrated, angry, even tempted to stray from the path.
So he's human.
He's human.
It makes him relatable.
Exactly. Incredibly relatable.
I mean, it's comforting to know that even an emperor sometimes felt like chucking the scroll across the room.
Oh, absolutely.
So if he's not advocating for, like, perfect Stoic serenity, how did he suggest we deal with those moments when we do feel frustrated or angry? Did he have any anger management tips?
He did, and they're surprisingly relevant today.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, so in Book 2, he advises us to start each day by mentally preparing for all the annoying people we might encounter.
The annoying people.
The busybodies, the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful, you name it.
You know, my morning commute.
Exactly.
I encounter all of them.
It's like mental rehearsal for those frustrating encounters.
Okay, but how does that help?
Well, he goes on to say that we should remember that these difficult people act the way they do because they don't understand what's truly good and evil.
Okay.
Their behavior comes from ignorance.
Okay.
So instead of getting angry or judgmental, he suggests trying to understand them, to recognize their shared humanity.
So instead of getting caught up in the drama,
Right.
take a step back and say, okay, this person, they're struggling, they're not acting out of malice, they don't understand.
They're coming from a place of ignorance.
Wow, that's a big shift.
Is in perspective.
It's about cultivating compassion even for those who seem undeserving.
Okay, I like that.
Remembering that we're all connected, part of this larger human story.
Okay, so I can see how that would be a powerful way to, like, diffuse a tense situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of connections, though, if the universe is rational and we're all interconnected, does that mean everything happens for a reason? Like even the bad stuff?
The age-old question.
Right.
So, while Marcus Aurelius definitely believed in this kind of cosmic order,
Okay.
he wasn't saying that every single event is part of some grand plan.
Okay.
He acknowledged that chance and randomness play a role.
Okay.
But he also saw those, seemingly negative events as potential opportunities for growth and learning.
So it's not about pretending everything's perfect.
No, it's about recognizing that even in those tough times, there might be a lesson,
Okay.
a chance to grow stronger.
I like that.
He saw adversity as a crucible.
Yeah, a test that could make us more resilient and compassionate.
You come out stronger.
Yeah, you come out stronger.
So it's about how you react to those challenges, not letting them define you.
It's about choosing your response.
Keep moving forward,
That's it.
even when things are uncertain.
It's a powerful reminder that we have a choice in how we face adversity.
We do.
We can be defined by our challenges, or we can use them as fuel for growth.
That's a good way to put it.
It's about recognizing that we have that power within us.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's not about achieving some perfect state of stoic detachment,
Right.
but about continually striving to align ourselves with reason, with virtue, with the natural order of things.
It's a journey,
It's a lifelong journey,
a
yeah.
constant process of, learning and refining and growing.
Absolutely.
So we're not striving for perfection. We're just trying to be the best versions of ourselves.
That's it.
Even when life throws us curveballs.
Even amidst the chaos.
How do we actually cultivate that inner strength, that resilience?
That's a great question, and he did have some specific practices.
Okay, let's hear it.
One of his most powerful tools was mindfulness.
Mindfulness, okay.
Yeah, he urged us to pay attention to our thoughts, to become aware of the stories we tell ourselves, and to challenge those negative beliefs that hold us back.
So it's about being more self-aware,
Yes, self-awareness is key.
noticing the patterns that lead to those negative emotions.
Exactly, those mental patterns.
Catch yourself when you're, in that negative self-talk spiral.
Yes, catch yourself and choose a more empowering perspective.
That's a good one. Choose a more empowering perspective.
He believed that our thoughts have a huge impact on our emotions and our well-being.
Okay.
By changing our thinking, we can change our experience of reality.
So we actually have more control than we think.
We do. That control lies within us.
But it's a practice.
It is an ongoing practice.
Something you have to work on.
Something to cultivate.
Okay, so how do we start?
He would say, start by simply noticing your thoughts,
Noticing.
observing them without judgment.
Okay.
Like, become a scientist of your own mind.
Become a scientist. I like that.
Observe your mental processes. Experiment with different perspectives.
So we can change those patterns.
You can change those patterns.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is.
So we're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to understand ourselves better.
Exactly. It's a process of self-discovery.
A journey. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Yeah, journey of self-discovery.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And he offers some really specific techniques for doing just that.
Okay, like what?
For example, he encourages us to regularly examine our motivations.
Our motivations.
Yeah, to ask ourselves why we're doing the things we're doing.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, what's driving your actions? Is it fear? Is it ego? Is it a genuine desire to serve something larger than yourself?
Oh,
That's a tough one.
it can be uncomfortable.
To really confront those deeper motivations.
Yeah, but it can also be incredibly liberating.
Okay, so that's one.
He also suggests a technique called negative visualization.
Negative visualization.
Okay.
Yeah, where you imagine the worst case scenario.
Oh, so you're like mentally preparing for the worst.
Exactly, preparing yourself mentally and emotionally for potential setbacks.
Okay, I can see how that would be helpful.
It might sound counterintuitive,
Mhm.
but he believed that facing our fears head-on can help us diminish their power.
So you're like walking through the fire in your mind.
Yeah, and then when it happens in real life, you're like, oh, I've already dealt with this.
I can handle it.
Exactly.
I like that.
He also stressed the importance of finding role models.
Role models, okay.
People who embody the virtues we admire.
So you surround yourself with good people.
Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to be better.
Yeah, like a support system.
Exactly. A support system to help you stay on track, encourage you when you stumble, and celebrate your victories.
Celebrate the victories. That's important.
It is.
Okay, but speaking of victories, how did Marcus Aurelius view success and ambition? I mean, he was an emperor.
Right. The most powerful position in the world.
You'd think he'd have some thoughts on achieving greatness.
He did. He was a highly ambitious man.
Okay.
But he also recognized the potential pitfalls of unchecked ambition.
Okay, the dark side of ambition.
Yeah. He saw how the pursuit of power and recognition could lead to, arrogance, greed, and ultimately unhappiness.
So it's not about squashing your ambitions, but channeling them.
Channeling them in a way that aligns with your values, your purpose.
Okay, I like that.
He believed that true success wasn't measured by like external achievements or possessions.
Okay, so not the stuff you have.
Right, not the external stuff, but your inner state, your character, your commitment to virtue.
So you can be successful and still be a good person.
Exactly. He would say, what good is conquering the world if you lose yourself in the process?
That's a good one. I like that. You know, it's interesting how he balanced that, right?
It's fascinating.
Like, here's this guy, Emperor of Rome. That's all about power and control.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But he keeps coming back to this idea of accepting what you can't control.
Right.
Focusing on your inner world, it seems almost like a contradiction.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes his insights so powerful.
Okay.
He was living in this world of, immense power and responsibility.
Right.
But he recognized that real peace doesn't come from trying to control everything around you.
Yeah.
It comes from mastering your own thoughts, your own reactions.
It's like instead of being swept away by all the chaos of running an empire,
Right.
he was cultivating this inner calm.
Yeah, a sense of detachment from the things he couldn't change.
So even an emperor can't control everything,
No, not even an emperor.
but they can control how they react.
That's it.
And that's something we can all apply
Absolutely.
to our own lives.
Whether you're running an empire or just trying to get through your day.
Yeah, we can't control the traffic or,
Right, the unexpected
the
bills.
people who annoy us,
Exactly.
but we can choose how we react.
We can choose to let it stress us out, or we can choose to find that calm in the storm.
Yeah, it's like that old saying, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.
Courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Marcus Aurelius would like that one.
I think so.
He actually gives some really practical advice on how to put that into practice.
Okay, I'm listening.
He suggests focusing on what he calls indifference.
Indifference. Okay.
These are things that are neither good nor bad, they're just neutral,
Like what?
like wealth, health, even reputation.
Okay, so not that those things aren't important,
Right.
but you shouldn't get too attached.
Exactly. They shouldn't define your happiness.
So if change, right.
They're fleeting, your fortune can change, your health can falter, your reputation can take a hit.
So if your happiness is based on those things,
And they're in for a bumpy ride.
you're on that emotional roller coaster.
But if you can find contentment in your own virtue, in your own character,
Okay.
then those external ups and downs won't shake you to your core.
So it's about finding that stability,
Yeah, that inner stability.
a foundation that's not based on, the things that can be taken away.
Exactly.
But how do you actually do that?
Well, he understood it's not easy.
Right.
It's not about becoming some emotionless robot.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that our emotions are often based on judgments.
Judgments about what's happening.
Yeah, interpretations of events.
Okay.
And those judgments, they're not always accurate.
So we need to question those automatic reactions.
Exactly, those knee-jerk responses.
Like when something bad happens, don't just freak out.
Right. Pause.
Take a breath.
Ask yourself, is this really as bad as I'm making it out to be?
Is there another way to look at this?
Exactly.
That pause can be so powerful.
It creates space for you to choose a more
Yeah.
constructive response.
Yeah, it's like hitting pause on that emotional roller coaster.
That's it.
Okay, I need to remember that.
He believed that practicing this mindfulness, this self-awareness,
Yeah.
that's crucial for cultivating that inner strength.
Mm.
And the more you practice, the better you get.
Like working a muscle.
Exactly. The more you exercise that mental and emotional resilience.
The stronger you become.
That's right.
So it's not about perfection, it's about progress.
It's about progress. It's about striving to be more aware
Yeah.
and choosing those responses that align with your values.
So it's a journey.
A lifelong journey.
Constant growth, self-discovery.
And remember, you're not alone in that journey.
Right.
Marcus Aurelius himself, he was constantly striving.
Yeah.
He wasn't perfect. He stumbled. He made mistakes.
He was human.
He was human, but he kept coming back to those core principles.
Those guiding principles.
The things that helped him navigate life.
And by sharing his struggles in meditations.
He's giving us a roadmap.
Yeah, like a guide.
He's saying, hey, I've been there. I know it's tough.
But you've got this.
You have the power to choose a better path.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
And it's timeless, right?
Absolutely. His insights are just as relevant today.
As they were almost 2,000 years ago.
So as you go about your day, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius.
Okay.
The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts.
Choose wisely.
Choose wisely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Marcus Aurelius.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it insightful, maybe even a little life-changing.
Until next time. Keep seeking wisdom, keep practicing virtue, and keep living in accordance with nature.